Good morning from a chilly North Carolina. How is everybody this morning? Good morning, Todd. How are you? Can you
I
hear me?
am
Okay.
I am excellent.
Well, good.
Rangers won the World Series. Woo woo.
That's baseball, right?
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do know that.
No, you
Uh,
don't.
so I didn't even know the World Series was going on.
Oh my God.
I don't watch TV. TV will rot your brain out.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watched the Rangers game. It was spectacular. 5-0. Finished it off in the. It's a 7-game series, but it only took them 5 because they were just that much better than the Diamondbacks.
Well, good. I know you're happy. Good morning,
Yes,
Mr. Sadie.
the Diamondbacks are also a baseball team.
Good morning, Lag. I
Are
was
you in
wondering what the hell
Amarillo?
Mr. Sadie was doing, but he was spelling Texas. I thought Mr. Sadie had
Look
been
at what
into the Missouri stump water too early this morning.
look at what Lag did. He wrote Texas Eagles.
Okay.
What the hell? The Eagles aren't good enough to be in Texas.
Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Vintage. Good morning, Night Nurse.
And I had a $10 bet on the game. I won $6 on wagering on the Rangers yesterday.
Good morning, Junk Trader. How are you, Anissa? Oh, Lord. Well, as chilly as it is down here, I know Anissa's got some chilly weather up there. It's cool 61 degrees in this house.
I was wondering if the Rangers might accidentally lose last night's game because, well, for two reasons. One, they won the game in Arizona. So had they lost the game, they would have played another game in Texas. So wouldn't it have been nice to win the World Series on your home field? Plus, I think each player gets a bonus and the team gets a bonus for each game that they play. Well, if there's a 7-game series and you win in 5, then you missed out on the bonus checks for the last 2 games. I guess. I don't know.
Too much money in the first place.
Yeah, they're all richer than eBay sellers anyway, but it was a pretty spectacular season all around for the Rangers. Yeah,
So,
that's right, Ron. I love the cool weather.
not me, baby.
I grew up in the Texas Panhandle and let's see if I can pull up their weather. It's always colder there. 30. Actually, it's not. It's actually cooler here than it is in Amarillo. Huh,
Good
what
morning,
the
Cashy Castaways. I think are you new?
who?
Cashy Castaways.
I didn't see them.
They're Up a little ways. Well, welcome if you're new to the channel. I apologize if you've been in here before and I haven't seen you in here. Uh, this is people like lag and gets in here and he spins it on up to the chat on up. So you have to really stay on top of it, which I don't.
Flag sold an Acura Flex TSD. What the hell is that? Now I gotta look it up. It's a collet.
You can't listen to anything Lag says.
He sold a collet? Why didn't you just call it a collet? Or did you sell the whole kit? There's single collets and there's
Oh, sorry, Scottrick. Scottrick. Oh Lord. Are you just loom in the background?
His camera's on in the waiting room, but it's not in the. That's weird. Oh, he's got the spinny circle thing going.
Oh, there he is.
I just changed cameras.
Oh, did you?
Da, 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 da. I love you this much. I love you
Top of
this
the morning
much.
to you assholes. Woohoo!
Hey, butthead. Scott, did you hear the Texas Rangers won?
When you said that, I flipped over to ESPN and it said they won. So
It's got to be true. It's on ESPN.
I used to keep up with all that stuff, but you know what? They ruined me for sports, man.
I know.
Bunch of panty wetting liberals.
I know.
There's a link if anybody else wants to join us this morning.
Come on, Lag.
Buncrack, isn't it always raining in the UK?
So did y'all see the short I made yesterday afternoon?
No, I didn't even have my computer on yesterday afternoon.
No. Let me go look at it.
So Joni's like, let's go to. I want to go pick up some shirts. So everybody knows she volunteers. So they had these Christmas shirts for like $7 that says they're green with red writing. It says Team Naughty or something on it.
Uh-huh.
So the four ladies all are going to wear Team Naughty shirts for the Christmas season while they're volunteering. And I'm like, so Walmart on a limited time carries a coffee every year called Pecan Pie Coffee for great value.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some seriously good coffee. And I'm like, they say they don't have it, but I'm gonna go look. So I'll drive you over there just so I can look. So when I was over there looking, Green Mountain had a flavor of coffee called Maple Pecan, 24 in a box. And I'm looking at the sticker. I'm like, does that really say $3.48? They had marked it down from $15 to $3.48.
Oh, wow.
So I drug her to another one, and so we ended up going to 2 Walmarts and getting 14 boxes of this.
And you really like that stuff, don't you?
I'm going to sell 3 or 4 of them and have free coffee. What are you talking about?
Good morning, Peddling Profits.
And so then that is not where the story ends, because I was about to shoot another video, but I thought I'd come tell you guys hello. She's like, we'll go. She's like, after dinner, because Jacob was making pizza, we had to come home. And she's like, I'll ride with you to another Walmart if you want to go look. So we get there, and they said they had that maple pecan, but they did not. But in the middle aisle, they had some of the pecan pie, which they said they did not. So they had 25 boxes. So I bought all 25 boxes. They're $4 and I think they're like $4.24 a box. Their brand. I get to the register, that shit rings up $2 a box.
Ooh, that's nice.
Is that a sweet coffee?
No, no, it's the pecan. Is that it's got a real the Walmart one's got a real strong pecan flavor. The
Okay.
maple pecan is not as it's a little different flavor, but it's still really good. But
Good
so
morning,
free
Tarek.
There you go.
I'm gonna sell enough to make this free coffee.
There you go.
Hi, Tara.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
It's good. Man, sales have been on fire. Fire.
I sold a lot of stuff.
I did too. I
I
got
thought
10.
I shipped everything, and I'm up to like 11 again today. I'm like I was finished shipping at 3 o'clock yesterday. Damn it!
I got 10 going out today for over $400. I'm like, whoop, whoop.
You need to put Mr. Sadie says hidden clearance or regular clearance. You need to put if you haven't put it in your title for that short, you need to put hidden clearance.
Hitting clearance?
So I'm trying to decide whether I'm gonna do hidden clearance or uh, free coffee or something about being free coffee for the second one.
That's clickbaity.
I
Um,
think it's no, but I did buy a bunch of half off Halloween candy.
Put free coffee, how you been? And spell BEAN instead of how you been. Never mind. That'd be stupid. Don't do that. How you been?
good morning, Beth.
So this was
Grandpa
neither.
joke.
So Sadie, this was neither. It had a regular tag on the shelf that said $3.48. It didn't have a yellow tag or anything else. It had that was the weird part. The tag said $3.48 and it was regular. I'm like, well, damn. So I figure this morning I only went to 4 Walmarts. You know, we might have 12 of them in the area, so I'm gonna go buy some more.
I tell you what, if Walmart was to go bust, Charlotte would have no place to shop. We've got so many.
Well, when you look at the regional of what Food Line still dominates the groceries in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But Walmart is the number one grocer in Alabama.
Yeah. Well, Food Line is hometown, or home state, so that's the reason
I still can't get over the fact that what 10 or 15 years ago, Food Line got caught bleaching meat or something that was going out of date or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, they did. They get caught doing that.
I'm waiting for a Publix to get finished being built and opened up near us. I like Publix. I just like the store.
They're expensive. They're really nice and they sell you on customer service, but they are much more expensive.
Yeah, not so much on everything, but being the fact that I don't have to self checkout and I have people showing me where stuff is. Like you said, the customer service.
All the new Publix they put new self checkouts in all the new ones here.
Yeah, the manager at the Publix that I go into every once in a while, not as much since Sergey has his own car and drives now. Um,
Holy shit.
he doesn't like the self checkout. Not because it makes him like everybody else,
What's up, buddy?
I've yet to use the self checkout. I mean, I've even gone in there and the store managers and assistant managers are on registers. I mean, you just don't see that at other stores, even at Harris Teeter.
You were inside asleep when I came out here. What's up with that?
Yeah, Mr. Sadie. There's one guy that does nothing but hidden clearance, and he gets on my last good nerve. But
Morning, Prickles.
his content is pretty good.
You want to tell everybody what you did yesterday?
What channel is that, Tom?
It's I don't know what it's called.
Oh, okay.
But it's always hidden Walmart clearance.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I've
just
seen
funny
that
when you said, "Oh, he gets on my every last nerve." Oh yeah, I don't remember what his
I don't
channel's
remember what
called.
his name is, but he's always so damn
I
chipper.
forgot.
And
That's the
guy.
ticket.
So I'm gonna tell y'all what I did yesterday. I went to the fence and I barked at that big fucking dog next door. I found my voice. I shook the whole time I barked, but Franklin's over there just barking at. I mean, he never barks, and he's over there barking at the dogs with Phoebe. Like they're all both crazy.
He's got backup with the new dachshund.
Franklin, what are you doing?
yeah, good morning, Larry. Uh, I don't remember what the guy's channel's name is, and he hadn't
I
had
know,
anything
I
recently.
know
So
who,
I
I
think
know who you're talking about. That he goes in the he's a little bit bigger than me. He carries on in Walmart. It's about hidden clean. I've seen the guy.
yeah, he's always got a. He's always wears his branded ball cap. Um, I mean, he points out he's got some good info at times. Most of it is it's still too high for reselling. But if you're buying stuff for your family and whatnot,
It's just weird to put on a large size shirt. I hadn't worn large size shirts in a long time.
Uh-oh, you're fading away to nothing.
yeah,
I was in the first one when we went out to the first Walmart last night. I'm like, am I wearing a dress? Because I grabbed the hoodie. The one I was wearing yesterday was a 2X, and I could do like this, and it was like ring a bell would ring, ding ding ding. I'm like, I gotta put that in the back of the closet. That big thing.
no gloating.
That's good. You've lost a bunch of weight, huh?
Yeah, it
I
is.
still every day I get up. I ain't gonna eat nothing today, and then about the time the Rangers game starts, I start in on the snacks. Man, I just pound it down. Ugh.
Uh, I'm talking about Texas. Did he live in Texas? I mean, well, does he live in Texas also?
Well, he must. He
Yeah.
just said Houston is in Texas there, Tom.
Well, it
Yeah?
could be Houston, Massachusetts, for all we know.
Houston, Massachusetts.
I mean, like there's a Camden, South Carolina, Camden, Massachusetts.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when Sam Houston was
that's
living on
it.
the East Coast.
Yeah,
His name is Super Unsexy. Is his channel?
that's it. That's him.
Yeah. The other guy that gets on my nerves is I watch him every now and then. The deal guy. He's always wearing a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
Well, thank you for watching my show. I guess we don't have too much bullshit.
Too much bullshit.
Is there a Camden, Alabama too, Craig? Um, Anissa, you say you must be a tea drinker, a hot tea drinker. You don't drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee either, and I don't drink hot tea either, really.
You're sad.
I just
I'm
started drinking coffee
sad.
this year. I taught myself how to drink coffee this year.
I never was a coffee drinker. Neither is Jim, honestly.
Yeah, we don't need Jim on any extra caffeine or anything.
No,
Well, he drinks right now the Walmart version of Mountain Dew, Mountain Thunder in the morning.
I used to wash down my amphetamines.
Yeah, because this I tell everybody I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, but it's a double with a shot of espresso.
There we go.
Oh, you just like all hyped up. Um,
The fuck?
Tara, my brother called me yesterday. There's 49 acres for sale beside his house out in the
Well,
country.
there you go. You better buy it.
It's got a 1,500 square foot house. It's a little small,
There you
but
go.
he
Well, it's just gonna be
he
you
did.
and
He said
Roberta pretty soon. It'll be
he
easy
want
for you guys to take care of.
Roberta and I have been talking about moving out of the city, and
It's gonna be like what was that show with Green Acres? Like when you and Roberta leave this big city to go live a simple farm life.
All you got to do is turn around and grab box number 9 and just go pay for it.
Yeah, that's it. Uh, Lag gets about 300,000,
For how many acres? 55.
50,
Oh,
roughly
that ain't
50.
bad with a house.
Huh?
That's not bad with a house.
Not for around here.
Oh,
I No, we just like to move out of the country. Move
Ja-
out of the city.
James, you live in Indiana. Your opinion doesn't count. Y'all are just kind of in the middle of just blah.
who lives in Indiana? Oh,
James.
James W. I will say Indiana's a damn boring state to drive through.
Hey, I've been broke down in Lebanon. It's a happening place.
You've been
The
broke
high school colors are brown.
where?
Yeah, in Indiana, yes, Jim has been like fixing the truck or
Oh my
whatever,
god, I
like
always break down in Indiana.
in AutoZone.
Night nurse says easy, so she must be from Indiana also.
Oh boy, well, I'm sorry, it is. I have to go to Shipshewana in about 2 weeks.
You know, whatever needle on the dashboard goes down to 0, or the red light comes on, or the buzzer goes off. I don't even break a sweat anymore. It's like, okay, just normal. What's broke now?
It's So let's see if we can get this straight. Indiana. I can say 2 words and that'll sum up Indiana. Mike Pence.
um. So anyway, we might buy it because she would like she is she's one of these people like Scott. The sky is falling, so she wants to get out of town while she can.
No, before the apocalypse hits.
Yeah. Um.
Can't
Tom
have
Hudson.
zombies swarming around Roberta.
Yeah.
Lag. I hope to be around in 20 years. But it's a lot of pasture land. Oh well, it's had trees on it, and they cut the trees off of it and hadn't replanted it. But it lays against my brother's property, so my sister-in-law was in the background going, "Yeah, you could fence it in, and then we can put our horses on it
There
because
you
they have
go.
like 30 horses."
Yeah, and then what did Indiana do? They got they sent Mike Pence with Trump, and then his replacement, who they voted into office. What's the first thing he do in his first couple years in office? He takes his ass over to Davos over there with the World Economic Forum and all that. Yeah, in Indiana.
More than any time picture.
Indiana, y'all need to start practicing Heil Hitler.
Oh,
Oh.
ooh, you're getting pretty racy there.
Do they make a lot of RVs in Indiana, Mr.
Oh boy,
Saban?
that was a good pivot there, Tom.
They're what?
I said that was a good pivot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the chat. They make a lot. They make a lot of them here too. They make a lot of RVs in Alabama.
You know what? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I think I mentioned this before, or on a like subject. They have some country. They have some property on the north side of Charlotte in one of the the rural counties above us, and
What
his
word was that? Rural,
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 rural.
rural, rural,
Yeah, and
rural.
he's got a son-in-law and daughter that his son-in-law is getting out of the military and they're coming home. So he's got like 80 acres up there, my friend does. And he went out looking for us. He was going to buy a single wide mobile home for them to live in until they got jobs and got situated out here. He said it's cheaper to buy a damn house than it is to buy a single wide mobile home. He said just a plain old single wide, new is like
I think like
$75,000.
Have
Jim
you not
figured
seen?
it out when he did, and this is when Jim was still doing real estate. If you went and bought a lot and then put a single wide on it, and the hauling of it, the setting up of it, you end up having like $150,000 in
No,
the
100.
oh,
That's
100.
back when they were 35 grand though.
Yeah,
If you bought,
Have you seen?
if you
Have
wanted
you
to
seen
put
these?
a
Go look
single
on
wide
YouTube.
trailer,
They make triple wides that they charge $400,000 for. Go look on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's
Yeah.
just insane. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
was I was
Manufactured
like
housing.
flipping out because after I got rid of the first Mrs. Hucks, I bought a 12 by 65 and I lived in for a couple of years and I paid like $4,000 for that thing. I'm So he told his kids that they could just live with him because he's got a pretty good sized house, and he said they can live with them while they built something because he's gonna give them a couple. He's got a couple acres that's across the street to his main bulk of his property, so he's just going to go ahead and
easy. Don't knock my
start
duck
building
mouth
them a
again.
house over there.
Yeah. So
I just couldn't believe that. I mean, that is
Yeah,
just
they're expensive. Well, by the time you set them up, you put down whatever you're going to use for a foundation. Put a septic in or hook up to sewage and water, and yeah.
I sold a $5,000 lot to this guy who is crazy because he dies in a car accident a couple years later, and I wind up taking the guts of the camper that he hit in the car accident and putting into my motorhome. But that was a weird connection. But anyway, this guy buys this mobile. He buys a double. It was a double wide for 35,000. Puts it on his $5,000 lot. Puts it on a foundation. Puts in a septic. They have to drill a well because they can't put in a point well because there's not water, so they have to drill a well. Puts in an asphalt driveway, which I guess is a perk. He didn't have to do. But with modest landscaping, by the time he was done, he says, "He goes, it's great." He goes, "But you wouldn't believe it." I go, "We just want something cheap for retirement. We're into this thing for over 100,000 on a $5,000 lot and a $35,000 manufacturing home." But I will say also talking about what Scott was saying about these with these triple wides in the when the interest rates dropped in the early '90s, and
uh-huh.
you had everybody was putting up they were throwing up those McMansions, and I wouldn't even call them the suburbs. It was cornfields because they didn't exist as suburbs yet. They're
Right.
just people were selling off their farms, and these developers are throwing up these. I call them McMansions. Well, a lot of people call them McMansions on these 1 acre lots that took up the entire lot. They'd have a 5 car garage. If it wasn't asphalt, it was house. That you could mow it with a hand mower in about 5 minutes because that was all the grass that was left. But they were because the contractors couldn't build them fast enough. They were hiring place. We had this place called Wausau Homes, and it built crappy, um, they're factory houses, not mobile homes, but factory houses. But they would come in with a crane and these modules and put this thing together like a big Lego house. I would show these things. I mean, one of them, the railing stopped a foot. It was huge high ceilings go up to the top of this amazing staircase, but the railing stopped. It was also wiggly as hell. It was not. I mean, the railing felt like it was gonna fall off in your hand. You're about 20 feet off the ground, and you've got this railing that feels like you're gonna fall over it. Anyway, it stopped like 6 inches short of the wall, and I'm like, the other real estate agents got listed. Says, "Oh, they're gonna fix that." I'm thinking to myself, this is $600,000. You're gonna fix it? You should have been fixed the day it was built. And the carpeting was the crappiest, lowest grade Berber. Everybody was putting Berber in back then, and there's a lot of that knockdown. All the walls were that crummy knockdown or whatever. I mean, oh my God, yeah, no, but they were pulling 600 grand. That house was gone. I had some people sell it or look at it the next week. I tried to schedule a showing. They said we got an accepted offer and financing's been approved. I'm like, son of a gun. I mean, the people were buying that junk as fast as you could put it up. I mean, they're just putting up these amazingly crappy, huge houses, and people were just snapping them right
Yeah,
up.
but when you were selling there, Beaver Dam served bedroom community for
Madison,
and
yeah,
Milwaukee.
they were coming in. First, Sun Prairie was the bedroom community to the north, and then I was north of that. So they put in a 4-lane from Sun Prairie to Beaver Dam, and that was they were. Now we were the bedroom community. It was crazy.
Um, it's it's insane. They'll put around here. They'll put a they'll put a 3,000 square foot house on a 4,000 square foot lot. It's 3 stories high, no
It's
yard.
literally, I mean, they literally take up. There's room to make 3. You got this little postage stamp of green, and the rest of it's all their, their fancy garage doors on their 5 car. There'll be 5 cars plus a smaller garage door for their boat. So that it's actually like a 6 car garage. It's crazy.
You know, my best friend and his wife live in a, a planned subdivision, and they've got 4,000 square feet of house on a 2,000 square foot lot. He's got 2 of those little robot lawnmowers, one in the front yard and one in the backyard. I stopped by to pick him up to go play golf one day, and while I was inside having a cup of coffee, it cut the front yard. I mean, it's sad, and I don't like the fact that you can stand between 2 houses and you can put a fingertip on each one of the houses. You know,
Yeah, it's too close for me.
um, I'm not dissing mobile homes because I've made a bunch of money off of flipping mobile homes. I've lived in a mobile home. If people are too good to live in one, well, you just wait.
I don't like parks, but I mean, hey, you gotta live somewhere. So I mean,
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't want to live in a park because I would prefer to own the land underneath my mobile home.
I
if
would
I'm
say
gonna
this
live
with a
in
mobile
one.
home though. If you live in a mobile home, you gotta take good care of it because they're delicate. I mean, they're
yeah.
not as durable as a stick built. But if you take good care of them, no, they're a lot of them are real nice.
A friend of mine's got several hundred spaces. He don't own the homes itself, just the spaces, and he
Yeah.
makes damn good money. He's the one I think I mentioned one time that he starts talking about wobble boxes, and his wife will get on his ass in a minute and says those wobble boxes are the reason you drive what you drive, and we live in the house that we live in. you know, so you can't be dissing anything like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't have an issue with them. So don't think that when I'm like aghast that they're $70,000 now. You know,
Well,
prices have gone up.
James, like, you better stop and get beef bacon. I'm riding up to somebody. They got a Morgan horse auction up there, and they also have that Morgan stallion breeding auction and stuff. I'm going up there to help run some horses through the auction. So I won't have my own wheels. I'm riding with somebody else.
Is that a is that like where you're just getting rid of horses, or is that
They're
one?
taking some to auction. They were hired by another rich person, exhibitor, breeder, to go and handle
was it
6 or 8.
Tanya Tucker?
No, 6 or 8. She don't own a horse. She's borrowing
Oh.
somebody's horse anyway. And then they have this thing up there, this Morgan showcase, where if you buy a breeding to a stallion in the auction, you're eligible for that big class. Which last year I think the winner of the class took home like $150,000 or something like that. Anyway,
Good morning, Mike. Joanna, do you watch More Than Farmers? That channel,
More Than Farmers
More Than Farmers.
sounds like some kind of weird like
No, it's they're
adult channel.
homesteaders.
Or More Than Farmers.
They're homesteaders. They do like the
Oh.
raised
Yeah, I
box
don't got
garden.
time to garden, and I respect anybody that gardens and cans and does. My grandmother used to do that. I just don't have time to do it. And when the world falls apart, I hopefully just have more bullets than everybody else, so I can just go take their food and take it back to my house. That's what my plan is. I won't be sitting there with like silver dimes trying to buy bread or a
I
bunch of
suggest you
canned goods
not
and
cross
stuff like
into South
that.
Carolina north. If you cross further than North Carolina south, you're going to have a problem on your hands.
Okay, well, I don't know. I got a small army here. I'm pretty well, so I'm just gonna hope I got more bullets than the other person. I'm just gonna go take their food.
We've been pulling the pipes out of our walls and build little bombs.
Yeah. He's joking. He's joking. He's joking.
Yeah, we're joking.
They just had
wink,
that,
wink.
they just had that on the news in Israel because they're saying, well, where do they get these munitions? Where do they get the stuff to build those bombs? He goes, yeah, they rip it's sewer pipe out of their house. They'll take apart. That's what they're doing.
Oh, so then you got poopy bombs?
I guess.
Yeah,
But anyway, so they're using actually sewer pipe to make mortars and stuff.
I've got spear guns. I got you covered.
There you go. I had one for a while. I hated to give it up. I bought the surgical tubing for it, rebuilt it, and we sold it. But I was shooting at those round bales. Actually, I think it's pretty fun to shoot. I mean, I never shot in the water, but it's probably fun to shoot in the water too.
Yeah, that will be me. Well, I'll be able to shoot you from far away. I probably won't even really have to talk to you.
Anyway, Joanna, I know you like to can and put up vegetables and stuff like that. It's a really
Which I
impressive
respect.
thing.
And honestly, sometimes I'm like, oh, I should do that. I just don't have the time. I really don't.
Uncle Todd.
Yeah, that's it, Mike. This is a robbery. Put all the beans and rice in the bag, and no one gets hurt.
Hmm.
Do, do, do.
You must be in a good area for doing that. Are you going to rent them peddling, or are you going to flip them?
You had Windex taken down? What is that? Is that a Vero?
Who had Windex taken down?
Anissa?
Oh.
Todd probably owns a big old chunk of the Rangers. That's the reason he's so damn happy about it.
We're putting stuff like unopened and not putting it's new too. If it's because as long as you just label it as used, you can get by pretty good. Unless
So,
it's
Nissa,
something.
what reason did they tell you to take down Windex? Is it an
Something
ingredient?
about pesticide? Huh.
Is it some? Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe because ammonia is in it?
No, there is a thing where you're gonna have some kind of certification or something, or that you may not be able to sell it at all. It's a lot of pesticides.
So y'all are just now getting. Amazon's been doing this for years. They make you take a pesticide course, and then they take down all these listings. If you guys don't understand, if it mentions antimicrobial properties, it's required to be registered as a pesticide. I mean, there's lots of things that you would think. Because I had a pair of socks taken down, and I called Amazon all big and mighty, and this are socks. You took socks down for pesticides, and they said, yeah, if you look at it, it shows it claims antimicrobial properties. It has to have a pesticide number.
Wow.
Oh.
So
What the microbes friends? What they're not pests? We love the microbes.
Be careful of the wording.
We had, and I didn't know it. Last year I put up some bubble lights. Yeah, they got all taken down because they have that. What's that stuff inside bubble lights?
Oh yeah, then we drank it. It was good.
It was good. I really got drunk off
We had it
it
at Christmas time. Yeah, it's tradition.
but yeah, so we just used them. But yeah, they took them down. Yeah, I don't know. And they weren't like antique bubble lights. They were more modern ones, but I forgot. Or methyl ethyl.
Yeah, they're methyl ethyl something. They're methyl that company that made Agent Orange.
Mercurochrome or something like that.
Before we move on, I had an aunt that used to call Windex Winderex.
Are we talking about mercurochrome, that stuff that your mom used to put on your cuts?
I still use it.
It's not bubble lights, but I did throw that out there.
Now, methylate was the one that burnt my tail, wasn't it?
Huh?
Methylate, that was also a red one that burnt like hell.
It's the same stuff.
Okay.
Methylate and mercurochrome, I think it was the same, different names for the same stuff, but it was bright pink. You put that on a cut, man, you don't get an infection.
Yeah.
But my doctor told me, well, you're not, because he goes, where are you getting that? I go, yeah, I'll go to the estate sales, I'll get this old bottles of this stuff. He's like, you can't use it. He goes, you're getting mercury. It destroys tissue. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But you don't get an infection.
My grandma had it, and it was in this glass bottle from like 1890 that had like a glass tincture, you pull it had tincture, then she'd have that glass tincture. I mean, just torturing you as a child.
I was using it at the real estate office, and Doc Brainerd caught me doing it. He's like, what are you doing? You can't use that.
Bob Knight died this morning or yesterday?
Yeah, I heard that on the radio.
Who died?
Bob Knight, the basketball coach, or retired basketball coach.
Basketball arena chairs are safe now.
Yeah.
That was a stroke a long time in the making, I'll tell you.
I'm assuming that the degenerate gambler is Mr. Sadie. Good morning, Mr. Sadie. How are you this morning?
Oh, you come on.
What you doing inside?
It's probably cold.
How much did
Trying to
you
work
win on
my
that bet?
$19.
Woo! He's reach.
Reach. Trying to work up my courage to go to work actually today.
It's
Courage.
cold here
Are,
this morning. I mean, we had a hard frost again.
are you still at home or are you at the office?
I'm at the shop.
The shop. Okay. No. So, um,
Full shop. Got the stage back there, my truck, my boat's over there. I got his RV in here. I got a double stacker trailer in here. I'm surrounded.
is it
I
warm in
barely got
there?
room to sit down.
Is it warm?
Yeah, I got heat. I got heat, but I don't turn it up very high because it gets expensive.
Yeah, I bet so. That looks like a nice building, though. Is that where he keeps his toys at?
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, yeah. It's a nice building.
Holy shit.
Just think how much eBay crap you could put in there.
That's right.
I could fill it up in a week.
and then you and then you'd be complaining you don't have no place to put everything. Please.
Well, I got one bay filled up with my boat and all my personal crap from when my house got flooded. I'm surprised he hasn't never said anything to me, but he don't really care as long as he's got room to put his crap.
Now, did you have to totally rebuild, or could you tear down and rebuild it what you had, or
Oh no, they wouldn't let us. You know, they changed all the rules about the flood insurance after all that happened.
right?
Uh,
Yeah. You
it's,
can't ever
they're-
retire. You're going to lose all your storage.
That's right.
right. Oh, I
So
dread that day when I gotta take all my stuff out of here and find a place to put it.
So you're
Mhm.
saying the insurance companies paid out and now they're making it more difficult to pay out? That's what you're saying? What
Well,
change
it's
all
all mostly.
you poor little
My
peon.
understanding is it's all. Yeah, my understanding is it's all government ran now. Uh, and you can only get flood insurance through the government, is what I understand. At least around here, I don't know. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but
Whoa, whoa, whoa! So you're saying when the government takes something over, they screw it all up? Oh no!
No,
No.
I'm saying when big business can't ram something down your throat, they go, well, let's let the government do it. They're
That's
right,
true.
lubed up.
right. Yeah, my flood insurance was almost $300 a month. It's not cheap.
Golly.
When my parents built their house out on the lake, um,
So are you like close to the Mississippi? Were you? Because you're St. Louis, right?
Well, I was, yeah, I was just out of the. There's a Merrimack River is a smaller, much smaller river that goes into the Mississippi, and we lived on that, and that's what got
Oh,
us. But yeah, it was up to our gutters.
yeah. Oh, wow.
when my
Well,
parents
we got a
built their
creek
house,
in front of the house. When that creek comes up, we just stand there and watch it. And it's like, oh, don't come up any
Yeah,
higher.
Yeah, it'll go from
right.
like, 5 inches of water to 5 feet of water in a half a day.
you
I
need to
don't know how
start.
these people afford it. You talking about flood insurance? When we lived in Wilmington, right there, 7 miles from the beach, look at the price of wind and hail insurance. You're
Yeah,
required to have
Oh
wind
yeah,
and hail insurance. Oh my god, it was more. It was more than regular insurance. I think our last wind and hail policy was about $2,000, and that was 2015.
yeah. It's crazy, Scott.
when my parents built their house on the lake, they were going to do a short term, construction loan on it, and the banker, which is I almost call it say she's my dad's lead or was my dad's lead banker. She said, "Well, you're going to have flood insurance." And my dad said, "And how much is that going to cost?" It was like $1,000 a year. And he said, "First of all, if my house floods, that means the water is going to be going across the Lake Wiley Dam about 12 feet. And, you know, the city of Charleston will be underwater because he was way up on a hill."
Right,
And so she said, no, they were going to require flood insurance. And he looked at, my mom said he looked over and said, go get a check. Go to the counter and get a cashier's check. Because it just pissed him off.
right.
That's the way these people, bureaucrats think. Just because you're near water, it means it's going to flood. if it was to flood his house, they would have more problems to worry about than his little old house because it would
Right.
probably knock out the Wiley Dam, the Great Falls Dam, Santee, the Lake Wiley Dam, Lake Marion Dam, all the way to, there'd be a 200-foot wall of water when it hit Charleston.
You're expecting a government employee to actually know what a map is and be able to read a topological map and then understand and then have
Yeah,
some
they're
kind of
just checking the
compassion
box.
and have some kind of compassion when they hold a gun to your head and say, "Give me the money," or else. Come on.
Well,
Yeah,
in this case,
it's
it really pissed off the manager of that branch bank because he went and got got a cashier's check for $240,000 and handed it to her. And my mom had to walk 20 feet to the cashiers to get it. That's money out of their bank, and bankers don't like it when you take a lot of money out of their bank because
Really?
it's
right.
all about loans, how much loans they're writing, and how much deposits they got in their bank.
Yep.
That's all they're concerned
That's
about.
how they got rid of the housing bubble that hadn't burst yet. Was they changed the ratios for banks, how much money they had to have on hand for loans, and that's why they ran their credit requirements up for everybody because they were trying to thin the herd because they knew they couldn't give everybody a loan anymore.
It wasn't all that money printing they did.
Yeah, well, that didn't hurt.
I think he's talking about 09 too.
Yeah,
They printed a lot of money in 09.
I'm talking about
The first time, yeah.
the Obama years.
Yeah, if you look at 08, 09,
That was, I should say, to be fair to Obama though, that started with Bush. That Obama did inherit that.
Obama's still doing it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
You
If you think Joe Biden's made a decision in his any time in office,
Yeah. Or maybe it's Big Mike thinking up all this stuff. That clip was so funny.
y'all need to
watch it.
Yeah, Big Mike.
if you haven't watched The Big Short, it's streaming. It's got to be streaming on one of the free networks, Tubi or something like that.
That music
It's
is
about
from
it's about the real estate bust, and
that background music to Big Mike is that King Tut.
yeah.
Remember that King Tut song?
But the bankers and Wall Streeters are saying it's all bullshit. But there's a lot of people that came out and said, nope, that's exactly the way it was. And after you watch the movie, it'll make you wonder why the hell we gave all these banks money.
We should never bailed out the bank.
Yeah, don't talk about Mr. Obama.
That line that had sausage in it, that was funny. Or was it sausage or wiener or something? I just cracked up.
Big Mike.
I think Gwen was like, "What are you laughing at?"
Big Mike's hung more than the rest of us, so there you go.
He is.
That thing bouncing around when it ain't taped up.
Well, we have that shit, and they're talking about bailing out the automakers. So we got that blue oval thing getting built over here about 45 minutes from me, the electric battery thing. So they announced now they're supposed to build side-by-side factories. They've already built half of one. They put this second factory on hold because they just aren't there isn't the demand for electric vehicles that they anticipated.
Well, also too, look at Ford and GM. They lose money on every electric vehicle. They're not good at it. They're not very good at it.
Yeah.
They said, I just watched a thing said that if they took away the government subsidies, driving an electric car would cost you about $17 a gallon. If it was a petroleum vehicle, it would be comparable to running at $17 a gallon. So that's well, and I know that's true with ethanol too, because they subsidized the hell out of that, and it was, years ago they said that gas should be like $7 a gallon if you took away all the subsidies for the corn and all that stuff to make it.
Why do the people that own those electric cars like them so much? You talk to any of them, they're like, "Oh, it's the just the best car
Well,
I've
I mean, I
ever had.
guess if that's what you. I mean, I have no problem with the electric car.
A golf cart's awesome until you go trade it in, and then the
No,
guy tells you, "Oh, your batteries are old, so your golf cart's a lawn ornament."
so once you ride in one, you understand it. The technology in them is amazing. You know, if you want to take a trip, 400 or 500 miles, it'll plot your trip and tell you where the technology in them is really cool. But you could put that same technology in a gas car. They just don't because they don't want the competition.
Yeah.
That's why they like it so much. And so many people, if you live in a town like Huntsville or Charlotte, and can plug in at night and then drive them around and never go to a gas pump, and you're getting gas subsidies from the government. I mean, you can save money over time.
Hmm.
But the problem is I don't want to spend $60,000, and if I decided tomorrow to go visit Thom, oh well, that's going to take 3 days,
Yeah, exactly.
I like
and
to,
not know
I
how
like
I'm
to
going to
pull
get
up
back
next to.
because you get there and it'll be a dead battery. You go, well, damn, I got to charge this thing to get it back.
Yeah, or in 7 years when your batteries are junk and it costs $26,000 to replace the batteries, or you go buy a new car.
Yeah,
And
I might
if you
ought to
don't want
get one because I sure as hell don't want to go see Thom.
the Rich Rebuilds
Damn,
channel, if you watch that guy,
damn, son.
he repairs
I
those
know.
things.
He's harsh.
The problem is Tesla has too much control. So if you wreck one and decide, you know what, I'm good at fixing these things, I'm going to put it back together. They won't allow you to get on their supercharger network because they deem it a loss, and you're a danger to you're a danger to their network. I mean, it's crazy the stuff that happens.
And people talk about it's good for the environment. It's good. What the hell do you think happens to all these batteries and whatnot?
Well, let's take it to the beginning. When you go strip mine a region in Africa and deforest it, and displace people, and pay people really shitty wages, and then you take that raw material and you ship it to China, and then it goes on a cargo freighter and gets shipped across the U.S. How green is that?
Man, these crazy environmental idiots. So I posted a video about the coffee last night, and one of the first comments was destroying the environment one cup at a time. My answer was, and it tastes every damn drop tasted great. So
That's
there.
right.
People are nuts with that stuff, man. I tell you what I like to do is pull up next to a Tesla and rev up my V8 real loud, and I'm thinking, yeah, you can't do this unless you download a muffler app or something, you idiot.
Y'all to see
Yeah, and I can see Mr. Sadie's like blasting like Def Leppard, pour some sugar on me. He's just
Yeah,
belching black smoke out,
you
got my Mick
need a
Ultra,
diesel.
got my Mick Ultra
Yeah,
in the beer
got my
holder.
Mick Ultra in one hand and a cigarette in the other.
You need a diesel so you can belt some real black smoke on
Now,
it.
now
Yeah.
listen. If you live
Hate that.
someplace
Yeah.
in Charlotte, and you live like in Ballantyne or up in Huntersville, where all the rich people live at, and you're going uptown to work, that's fine. But if you're going to be driving any distance,
You're screwed.
you're just screwed. I mean, that's all
you
there
ain't
Yeah,
is
gonna
to
be
it.
driving. Period. There ain't gonna be enough electric cars for 10% of the damn population.
They really want to put
Your
you
ass
on
is gonna be on a
public
bus or a
transport.
train.
Yeah, that's what they really
You can
want.
kiss personal ownership of vehicles goodbye, unless it's a bicycle.
Yeah, they are faster leg, but I'll drive right past him at about 250 miles because he's going to be sitting on the side of the road looking for a charging station.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie's gonna run his ass over.
Right. Squish him
it-
like a grape.
when
Yeah.
Look at it.
Mr.
Most of
Sadie's
us-
driving Bigfoot who gets like 3 miles to the gallon. He's gonna
Pushing
fucking
like
crush it.
Yeah, but most of us on the panel have a
Right.
pickup truck. Good luck with these damn electric cars and hooking a trailer to them. You get like your range drops by down to a third. Good luck. They go like 100 miles with a trailer.
But
Good
look
luck.
what your range drops when you
Right.
run air conditioning and heat. And I don't know about in the South, but don't you like to ride around in air conditioning?
Yeah,
Or
if you
in
like
the
air
North?
conditioning, electric is not for you.
Or if you live in Wisconsin where it's 20 below, I like to ride around in a car with heat
I had a
on.
friend of mine bought a Prius. He got rid of it because the damn was the one that ran. It was a hybrid, like electric slash gas.
Right.
But he said my engine runs all the time because in the summer I'm running AC, and in the winter I'm heating the car. And either way, the it needs to run the gas engine for that. He goes, so I just went and traded in for a gas when it was cheaper. He
You know,
still had a Prius, but it was the one that just burned gas.
I talk about this show probably entirely too much, but I love it because they just slam everybody. Um,
Squish them
South
like a
Park
grape.
South Park did an episode where everybody in town bought a hybrid or an electric vehicle, and they were overwhelmed by smug, not smog, by smug. And that's exactly what that's people that drive these things. I'm not going to say all of them, but a majority of them is because they think they're better than everybody else because they're saving the economy
They think they're saving the environment whenever
or the
because they're
environment. Yeah,
because they're so fucking stupid. They don't know any better.
I mean,
They're the same ones who believe. They're the same ones watching MSNBC and believing Joe Biden won the election.
Mm.
just imagine if
So
if because they're wanting all the transfer trucks to go electric too. How long it'll take product to get across the country? Because they're going to have to stop and recharge. I mean, it's incredible what they're wanting to do. But
And
then again, the people that can grow a little bit of food in their backyard. Uh,
95% of the electricity in Texas is made with natural gas or coal.
yeah.
Ours too in Kentucky.
How is that
Coal country.
being environmentally more correct if you have an electric vehicle?
Yeah, because you're using a fossil fuel to make the power. It's all a bunch of BS.
Well, one good thing though is like
Yeah,
in South America, they're not going to have any more forests, so there's going to be plenty of room for parking lots and your farms and all that other stuff because it's all be level land. Because the only way they can get this lithium is to strip mine.
I think it's Africa. I don't know if they
No,
have
it's
it in
South America.
Oh, they have it
Huge
there
in South
too?
America. Yeah,
Oh.
they're making these big. They have these big pools where they leach it out. They're just these beautiful azure pools with this lithium. I mean, and I'm sure it's not toxic or anything. I'm sure none of this is getting to the ground.
Or like in Africa where they have those people go through those
They
slave
got
piles
little
being
kids
killed.
going through. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got a whole family. The little kids are coughing up lithium and getting sick. It's awesome.
you need to change that damn scroll on the bottom too to say that these opinions are of the beard and Roberta kiss my ass.
Yes, right. I was talking to my oldest son, not my oldest son, my middle son yesterday, and I said, well, because I mentioned something about Scott, and he's like, "Who's Scott?" And I'm like, "That's your mother's boyfriend." And he turned and looked at my wife at Roberta and went, "What?" I said, "They've never met face to face, but they share the same political views." And then I talked about, I told him about, her listening to the show, and she's over there amening Scott and all this kind of stuff. So,
And she's like, preach it, beard, preach it.
Yeah, Reed Night Nurse says hydrogen is the answer. I'm telling you, Toyota is heavily invested in hydrogen cars. Hydrogen is the answer. I mean, they take batteries in them too, but not as. I'm telling you, hydrogen cars are much more. I mean, they're the closest one to. There's just no infrastructure for it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
but Scott, California, no electricity, no water. What the hell are they going to do out there? They're going to
That's a
have to
good
burn
one.
gasoline. Because then the hydrogen that you have a water tank. I don't know anything about it except
It puts out water. The hydrogen things they claim hydrogen from the air and they compress it.
Okay. And then, the
Well,
only
back in the
else
night,
it gives out though is water, right?
All it puts out is water. There's a battery. There's a battery in there. The hydrogen charges the battery or runs the engine. Either one.
Can you make it instead of water? Can you use urine? Because I heard a lot of these cities there's abundance of that, and especially California.
If they ever converted to using human waste, California would lead the way. Scoop it off the
Right.
street.
no doubt.
But see, if that was possible, it would be too beneficial for the country because they're not devastating the planet to get something to generate electricity with. It's just a
Oh.
natural byproduct.
See,
Those cars would drive like shit.
the problem is, and nobody talks about it, is it's the control they have over an electric car. If they decide you've driven too much, they can turn you off. They can, the control they have over those cars. Um, and then if you look in the big budget bill that they passed 3 or 4 months ago, there was a thing, and I was reading about it yesterday, that there's in the next year, 2025 or 2026, every car manufacturer must have a kill switch in it because they are protecting against drunk drivers is the way they sold it.
Uh-huh.
So that if a police car there's a drunk driver ahead of them, they'll be able to put your license plate in the system and be able to kill power to your car. You tell me they're
Or
going
like,
to.
let's say if you have a social credit score that's too low or something, they turn your car off, or
There you go.
Or you have a MAGA bumper sticker.
Yeah.
you have a MAGA
It's a
bumper
MAGA, it's a
sticker.
MAGA, zap it.
Turn his car off.
Send it to the MAGA camp.
If you didn't pay your taxes in 1997, they shut your
unless
car
they do
down.
something, that shit's
Yeah.
coming.
They're going to come out back with steam power is going to become the norm.
Well, back in the 90s, Toyota was starting to get big on. They had a conversion kit you could put your car on natural gas, and
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the next big thing, and it kind of died off. I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, they were doing that up in Wisconsin. We would have some of those propane run cop cars and stuff like that, but I don't think they
Right.
do that too much now
there's-
anymore.
But remember the Pinto? They had this big problem with the Pinto and the fake explosion with Tom Brokaw when he put the bomb inside the Chevy truck to make it show how dangerous saddle tanks were. So, I mean, how
Oh, remember
dangerous
that.
is a 100-pound can of propane in the back of this
Right.
auto?
Yeah, but
Yeah, it
look at
can't
the
be
hydrogen tanks.
safe.
If you go look at the hydrogen tanks that Toyota has built, I forget how much. They'll survive wrecks. They'll survive hitting by trains. They'll survive anything. Go read about the Toyota, what they've done.
I would agree with that, but I mean, I knew a guy with a pickup truck that ran on propane. He had the cans. He had 200 gallons of propane in upright tanks. Just they had a chain around them, but they're in the back of his truck. I mean, somebody hit that truck in the side. I don't think those. If they did survive it, they bounce off, hit the asphalt. The nozzle gets busted off them, and they start shooting around like a damn. They'll propel like a rocket. I mean,
It'll be like Christmas Vacation. And the rockets, red flag.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Propane's scary. I know
Play
gas
ball.
is dangerous too, but
Have you ever been to a propane fire when you were a fireman, like a tank that
never
got
saw
hit?
one go off. No,
Oh.
I was scared the hell out of me though. That was the scariest. Because you don't know when it's going to go off. If it was burning, I'd be okay. There's everywhere piece of propane, and you got people flipping switches and doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing around propane. I would just hide behind the truck. I'd pretend I was going to get something. I'd just stand behind the truck. Well, I want to go home. I got these idiots are going in. What'd you do? Well, I turned on the lights. I couldn't find anything. You're not supposed to flick light switches, you dumbass.
Yeah, you got.
I mean, you can smell the
Phil's
propane
right.
50 feet from the house.
Go look at the price
Americans
of
can't
a square body truck. Go look at the price of a square body truck from the 70s and 80s. They have skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'd have one of them before I buy one. My brother just bought a brand new Chevy Silverado, 4-door, 4-wheel drive, and it's got a damn 2.7 liter motor in it. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
And everybody says, "Oh, but it's got a turbo. It's got a turbo." Who cares? It's still a 2.7. The pistons are the size of a quarter, probably. It's a joke.
They're gonna wear out all these Echo Boosts and all that crazy shit. Man, I wouldn't have one.
Oh yeah, there big problems are coming down the road on all that crap.
There's a guy down in Columbia who he goes all over the place. He buys like you said, the pre-80 ones, or he buys like the Ford F100 and whatever the Chevrolet version of it is, which is a predecessor to the 150s. He buys them, does a chassis rebuild on them, all the way up from the chassis, and sells them like, they're. He can't keep any on it in a shop because people are already, have bought them because they're so much better vehicle. And when that EMP happens, it's not going to mess up the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it still is, and you don't have to worry about. I don't know how it is like in California, New York, and places like that. But if a vehicle is over so many years old and considered an antique, you don't have to do the emissions control on it.
What
Oh, we
emission
don't have
control?
a mission here where
Well,
I
you do in
live.
the city. You do
In the
it.
city, like if you're up by Louisville, I guess. But yeah, I haven't lived in a place where they do emission checks since 1992.
Catalytic converter. What's a catalytic converter?
Yeah.
Um,
If
James,
if
yes, there
I'm in
are
an
not.
area and one of the things is emission control, like emission check, I know I'm living in the wrong area and I would move away from that area.
Yeah, two things that we don't do: HOA and emission stickers.
Um, well, you just wait when they put that planned subdivision in right next to your farm.
No, I'm out in the sticks. I think I'll be dead before this gets developed.
Our road, we don't live on a 2-lane road. We have to drive a mile before you get to a 2-lane.
Yeah, I mean,
road.
if there's another car coming down our road, one of you have to pull off to the side and let the other one go by. I mean, it's like
Not a joke.
it's the width of a driveway.
And we live exactly a mile on a road. It's a town road, but it's only 1-lane town road. So we have to drive a mile before you can get to a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
In South Carolina, they're having to upgrade all those kind of roads because it's if a fire truck or an ambulance can't get
no
down
way.
it safely.
Oh, the logging trucks make it down.
Yeah, well, they go through here with logging trucks.
It's
You just
it's
stay out
scary
the
as
way.
hell.
Yeah. You better pull off the
Because
road.
there ain't a lot of. There's places where you're like at the edge of a cliff when you go to pull over too.
You sound like my granddaughter, Jim. They live in back in the woods, and I tell her all the time, Riley, how come you never call Popo anymore? She said, Popo, we live in the back roads.
We
got no
do.
septic.
We live on the back roads.
Yeah, our
We
cell
got no
phones
septic.
don't work.
No.
We got no cell service here. We have to go about a half.
No, our cell phones now that Joe Biden's
Barely.
updated to the 5G.
Barely.
My cell phone
Well, mine didn't
works.
yesterday. I tried to
Well,
use
mine
it yesterday.
works.
It didn't work.
And
Well,
then
whatever.
you should have the same kind of me.
I think you're pretty flappy and sassy.
It's
Sounds like
somebody said somebody said that somebody new
Let's see
car
what-
buyers they keep their vehicles about 6 years. We keep ours until they don't run anymore. When they leave
can't
me
even
on the
pay-
side of the road one too many times, and it's time to get rid of it. I just
They're financing them for 7 and 8 years nowadays. You can't even pay one off in 6
Yeah,
years.
because it costs so much.
if I had plenty of money and I could buy a vehicle to restore, like I'd want a 1940 Ford pickup truck or one of their panel vans. I just like that style vehicle, and I could drive into the side of a dadgum F-250 or a Chevy 2500 or a Dodge 2500 with that thing and cut it in half, because it's nothing but pure steel.
Yeah, you need a big truck. So last night when we went to Walmart, the first time we drove the van, the first turns I made, there was a fucking idiot in my lane head on at me. I'm like, well, shit. We go a little farther, and there's on a 5-lane road, 4 lanes with a middle turn lane. There's some dude in the opposite fast lane facing traffic, and Joni's like, "What are we driving when we after dinner?" I'm like, "Get in the fucking truck. If the next one we see tries to hit us, I need some steel in front of us." Your little actor
No
get a
kidding.
steel. Your
You
little
need
actor
some
get a
jump
steel.
jacks on that thing. You know what
It was
those are?
crazy to see 2 in like 20 minutes of people in the wrong fucking lane, head on.
People don't.
That's crazy.
We saw one.
And the guy's waving at me, going because he turned out of a gas station onto the wrong side. I'm like, I mean, I realize you're Tom's age, but what the fuck?
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Ouch.
I'm serious. They have got to do something to get people off the damn roads, because we were talking about hydrogen cars and their emissions is water. These idiots in Charlotte can't drive when it's sunny and 70, more or less when it's 30 and there's little spots of water on the road. You know what I mean? That has ices over.
See, Tactical Z's right. That's why he stopped riding his motorcycle. I would own a motorcycle. I'd love it, but it's not the motorcycle rider. It's everybody else that you got to
Yeah.
worry about. They're such idiots.
Yeah, that's the problem. I remember when old Dusty had his motorcycle. Remember that, Scott? He used
Oh
to
yeah.
ride. He loved that damn
He
thing.
he would not ride it around town. He always just rode it out into the country
Yeah.
where there, because he had the same belief. He's like, these cross streets and stuff. I'll be dead. Well, I mean, look, he
Oh,
didn't
it's
know.
true.
He
Oh
wouldn't.
yeah,
He
you
wouldn't
don't have
ride.
to ride a bike very long.
No, he's talking about motorcycles.
No,
Yeah.
I mean a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You don't
Good
have to
morning,
ride one very
Fish.
long to figure out that they don't give a crap about you. They ride right up on your ass. I mean, they cut in right in front of you, just damn near hit your front wheel. They try to turn, and when you're making a right turn, they're trying to turn like on top of you. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Fish.
I had a couple bikes when I was younger. I'm motorcycle certified on my license, but I don't own a bike anymore. They're just too dangerous for me anymore.
Mm.
No, James. The problem is they'll pull out in front of you. You can be going as fast as you want to. You can't help if somebody pulls out because they don't look for motorcycles. They are trained to look for cars and trucks. So your brain doesn't see a motorcycle. They pull out in front of you. They'll tell you, "Oh, I never saw him because you weren't looking for him. You were looking for a car. Your brain was not looking for a motorcycle."
If you're driving a motorcycle in a city, you better have your head on a swivel because you cannot depend on anybody else but yourself. They are not looking for you. They will not see you. Just always assume they do not see you and have your hand ready for the clutch and the brake.
Good morning, Glenn. Yeah, well, anymore, if you're not, and I tell my boys, just because the light turns green does not mean you go.
Oh hell
Give
no!
it a couple of seconds to make sure nobody's running a damn red light because we were
If,
going.
if you're going to go, you better look both ways again to make sure that they're not coming through.
Yeah, because
Same here. Happens all the time. I mean, they fly right through the four ways around here. Fly through
yeah,
them. 80 mile an hour.
and I tell you what, I got called Shane on my dadgum speed phone, my speed dial. That's an ambulance chaser around here. In pain, call Shane. That is not a sponsored video advertisement.
It's like Shunahara, whoever one is here in Alabama.
We got the hammer up here.
Call the hammer. Truck
Brown and
accident,
Crouppen.
call the hammer. And he's a big guy. He's a big burly guy. He looks like he's about 300
Yeah,
pounds.
he's like on all the billboards, like from Indianapolis south.
And he's got in his right hand, he's got a framing hammer, and the other hand, he's got his palm out flat, like he's gonna pound his palm with the framing hammer.
We
Call
got
the
Brown
hammer.
and Crouppen.
He's got a buzz cut.
One of our guys wears an eye patch.
Where's a
You know
what?
iPad. Awesome.
When you headed
Johanna
into
Perry
He could be
was
like
our
the
commercial.
he could be like the pain pirate or something.
Remember that dude from
Yeah,
the Days of Our
Brown and
Lives?
Crouppen.
He was Patch. He had the eye patch.
when you get to Florida,
Makes you
when you
look
get
tough.
to Florida, all you see is dadgum Ron John sign billboards and some ambulance chaser. That's all the billboards. You don't see any Disney or Universal or any of those kind of things. All you see is ambulance chasers and Ron John.
Well, to be fair, with Disney and Universal, it's probably the reason you're going to Florida. So why should they invest in billboards?
That's true.
You know what I mean? You're going to Florida anyway. I mean, their park is the biggest advertisement, so why invest in billboards?
Yeah, you got a
I'll
point.
go
The
to
point
Gatorland.
is that's all you see down there. Roberta just messaged me that they're limiting the number of ships that can go through the Panama Canal. I got news for Carnival. If we can't go through the Panama Canal, they better give me a damn refund because that's the only reason we're going on this cruise.
Oh, didn't I hear something about that like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
that there's something with the Panama Canal.
Yeah, just go around the Horn. It's a scenic route. What's wrong?
Yeah.
Just relax, enjoy it.
Check out Antarctica while you're down there.
Yeah.
The lake in the middle of the Panama Canal is freshwater fed, and because of everybody's having droughts, there's not and it takes like 200,000 gallons every time the daggum ship goes through a lock. They're running low on water, so it's that damn global warming is just screwing up my damn vacation here now.
Yeah.
Is that the one we sold for like a penny or something? Panama Canal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we gave it back.
And except they sell it to China. It's Chinese
Yeah, I
interests
think
that
it's
run it
China.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hacked.
That's why they're taking all the water out, Tom. They say, "Here comes Tom, that damn American. Let's
I'm gonna tell
drain
you
the
what.
water."
I lived through a damn heart attack, and I rescheduled this thing, and now they're going to jerk me around because of the damn water supply.
Yeah.
But at one time, there were like 50 cruise ships, or not cruise ships, 50 freighters sitting off of the coast or at the Pacific Ocean's side of the Panama Canal because they were waiting to get through. And so a lot of them had been diverted around South America. Let's go the long way. But when you got vegetables and stuff like that, usually you kind of have a time frame you need to
Well,
Oh, that'd
China
be
probably
awesome,
bought it so they
Uncle.
could get their boats through first.
do. I
Maybe. China probably bought it to get their boats through first.
so,
Yeah, every
Probably.
time a Chinese freighter comes, it miraculously the lake's high enough to run the water.
Right.
If you're coming from another country, not so much.
All right. Yeah,
just
Tom's gonna do some magnet fishing off the boat.
I've never done that. I've never magnet fished. I've watched videos, but I've never done that before. No, I will sit on my balcony and watch the waves go by.
Watch the whales
Yeah, the
jump
whales.
up.
Now to watch the whales, you have to go down to the casino.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Tom's there like Free Willy having
That's
him jump over the ship.
I'm thinking that magnet fishing
right.
Mr. Say's talking about. I wonder if you wouldn't get your ass kicked off the boat though. They see the cruise. What do you do with that cord hanging off the boat? Oh, I'm magnet fishing. The hell
Yeah,
you
wouldn't
are.
it go onto the ship and the
You
ship made
can't.
a sail?
People have
Yeah,
got
may
kicked
stick to
off
the
of the
boat
ship
too.
because they feel like they're anchored at a port. They throw their rod and reel. They cast their
Oh, there you
reel,
go. Yeah.
and they've gotten kicked off the ship.
Really?
Did they?
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of frowned on.
Oh yeah, we'd have a problem if I went on that cruise.
The last cruise we went on, there was a couple on there, and her husband. She said if the casino's open, that's where her husband's at the Texas
Was it
Hold'em.
Gwen? Was you talking to Gwen?
Do I?
Was you talking to Gwen, Todd's wife? That's
Oh
where my
no,
husband's at.
no, no! It was another guy. It was another old lady. It's an old man. But she said that they haven't paid for a. She said that they took
Uh,
10 cruises last year, and they didn't pay for a one of them. And
Oh boy.
me being the nosy asshole that I am, I said, yeah, but how much did he spend on gambling? And she said, oh, he's in the black. She said if he ever goes in the red, stays in the red, his gambling days are over with. But she said if the casino is open, that's where he's at. Is sitting at the Texas Hold'em table. And
Yeah.
she says, and where do I spend my time at? She says, over at the shops. But
all right, I gotta go slap on some high karate. I'm gonna go visit the Lutherans.
All
you
right,
scared me
well,
for a minute.
get the good deals.
Yeah.
Maybe you get lucky today. I mean, with the
Was he not?
with the
Yeah, maybe
merchandise. Not with
maybe
the
you'll get lucky
not with
with
the
the
ladies.
Lutheran ladies.
Was he not just saying that he had so much crap he needed to get listed?
Yeah, he wasn't gonna. Yeah, he
Yeah,
wasn't gonna
true,
store.
Richard.
Remember?
But see, the thing about it is, he might find some good crap that he'll go ahead and get listed because he can make some good money off of it. He'll make $100 off of a $3 purchase.
Hey, you don't have to buy anything, but you should always go and look because it might be that one day you ain't there. It's when that one thing is. It's like fishing. You got to fish every day if you want to get the big fish. 'Cause
Yep.
you and the
He's
fish got
gonna
to be
need it.
on the lake at the same time.
Right. He's gonna need a bigger ladder pretty soon to put it on top of the dust pile.
You got to work harder. You'll have to hire an assistant.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
All right,
Bye.
we'll see you tomorrow. It's
Bye.
supposed
See
to
you,
help
buddy.
this weekend.
See you, Tom. Or Todd.
All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. At the slots because that's just random there. They got to throw a lot of damn coin through a slot machine. It's yeah, I think it is platinum. Fish, what are you? Aren't you like the top tier? Uh, it's it's what incredible what people have do to have fun.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Women, they've been to Alaska twice, Italy, Norway. I don't know how many times the
I
Caribbean.
got the list whenever you're ready.
We're looking at going to Iceland next year. They have a
Oh.
cruise out of Baltimore that goes to. It stops off in Canada and then goes.
You who doesn't like the cold is going to go to Iceland.
It's during the summer, sweetheart.
Iceland's warmer than Greenland.
Yeah, Iceland is green. Greenland is ice.
Yep.
Remember that.
It's still colder than
It was the
North
ultimate-
Carolina.
It was the ultimate marketing tool. They're like, how do we get people to go this frozen? We'll just call it Greenland.
Yeah, Iceland makes like 80% of its national revenue during the summer months from all the cruise ships coming in. All right. Anybody got anything important to add to the conversation before I shut this
The
down?
guy who I put on there, I'm enjoying every drop. He just put a comment back, called me an asshole. I hurt my feelings.
Oh wow, that's really at two extremes. You're enjoying every drop, and beard, you're an asshole.
Because
Hey,
I'm destroying the environment by drinking Keurig coffee.
You know what?
Scott, you may be
Keurig
an
coffee
asshole.
is bad for the environment now.
Scott, you may be an asshole, but you're our asshole.
That's right. And we love you.
And we love you.
You know,
That's all his comeback is. Good luck, buddy.
People just,
He picked the wrong one.
I don't know what it is with people.
I should have made a video. I deleted his comment, but I should have made a video about it.
Oh boy.
You do
Yeah, he
another
picked the
one.
wrong guy.
Hey,
He
you got
picked the wrong
58
guy to go back
seconds.
and forth with.
I'll call his ass out.
58 seconds. You can do a short
Oh, boy.
58 seconds. But that, no matter all the other shit you said, that will get your channel taken down. Because there's no rhyme or reason how they take people's channels down.
He's got 9 subscribers and no videos, but he's an expert.
They never have any
It's
videos
not
or
like
content.
Justice for Mr. Jiggles, is it?
Oh, I didn't put no.
Mr. Jiggles.
If it's Justice for Mr. Jiggles, I know who that is.
Mr. Jiggles is Nikki's chicken. Nikki Bauer's chicken was named Mr. Jiggles, and it got killed by Cujo the dog.
No justice, no peace, for Mr.
Yeah.
I thought
Mr.
that was
Jiggles
your
lives
stripper-
matter.
I thought Mr. Jiggles was your stripper name, Jim.
Oh, that okay. Now that kind of freaking me out, Tom.
No, my stripper name is Shafty, New England. My first pet was a turtle named Shafty, and the first street I lived on was New England in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Oh,
turtle's name was Shafty because my dad worked in a high-rise building. He found this little kid had it, and the mom kept coming to him saying, "Hey, my kid dropped the turtle down the elevator shaft again. Can you get it?" Well, this little peckerhead is deliberately putting it in between the gap, in between the wall, and where the elevator meets the floor. He's putting it down, deliberately pushing this turtle down this gap, and it keeps falling down in the elevator shaft. And my dad's like, one of these times the damn thing's going to crack and be dead. So he's like, no, we couldn't find it. He goes, here, kid, he comes home with it. He goes, here, pulls out of his shirt pocket. He goes, here's your pet turtle. And I had it for years. That's why I called him Shafty, because he came out of the elevator shaft.
Well, Tactical, that just sounds like a male stripper's
God
name.
dang this thing.
Okay, Todd, tonight's your auction, isn't it?
Todd's not here.
Todd wants
Scott.
to-
I don't know why I get
Todd,
Scott
Scott.
mixed up. I guess it's just an old man thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Scott,
it's
is
Tom,
tonight the auction?
that's Scott. That's Scott up there, and then you got Jim and Tara, and I'm Larry. Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you Todd Scott. Oh, you young whippersnappers. You just
Yeah.
listen to me
You
now.
know the words. You know
Play
how it goes.
listen to the record player. Eat some ice cream.
Y'all
Let me introduce you to your guest, Tom.
And now
Oh,
listen
I love
close. I'm
giving
gonna
you crap.
start whispering for no reason.
You know, I know the only reason you people come in here is just to give me hell. That's the only
Well,
reason.
I mean, if you start telling us like corn pop stories or something, then
Hey,
Corn
no
pops.
pianos were harmed in the making of this video.
That's right. No pianos would harm. And as I said, I do appreciate y'all coming in here, and the people in the chat. I appreciate y'all coming in here, and I've been putting your channels over in the description. So if you ever get bored and need something to watch, come over to one of my recent videos, look through the description, and find somebody to watch because there is always somebody entertaining in this crowd, except Lag. I don't know what the hell Lag's doing with his videos on his, but don't forget
That
your
keeps it fresh.
rugby when you go to the mall. Today's okay. You're the family, Uncle Tom. That's right. I'm Uncle Tom, and I do have a cabin. So anyway, unless anybody's got anything important to add, I'm going to shut this horse down for the day.
yeah, I think we beat it as far as we can go.
I
Yeah,
know.
wait. Oh no, it's not important.
What? Are you just being sarcastic?
He's
being
just being a
smartass.
smart ass. Just ignore him.
When have I ever said anything important? Good lord.
Well, you do at times. When
Not on purpose.
when your wife lets
Oh
you.
wait, he knows how to increase your sales on eBay. Well, we'll talk about it a different day.
That's right. All right, y'all have a great day. Look for Todd tomorrow. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Jim and Tara. Thank you, Larry, for coming in, and thank you guys for everybody in the
Oh,
audience. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
bye,
Bye bye.
Later.
bye.